Hi folks, just a little introduction to what I'm going to have a go at. Not this. This is Howard Hodgkin, Sir Howard Hodgkin, died about 3 years ago. And I've got this book signed by him. My son was a chef and was working in the Ivy, the Ivy, not the pop-up Ivies. And he phoned me to say, he was working late, he phoned me to say that Howard Hodgkin was in the restaurant. So I said, well, could you ask him to sign my book? And he said, I can't do that, I can't quite, my chef's wife. He said, I'll have a word with the maitre d', which he did, and Howard Hodgkin said that when he said, get the book up here, and next time I'm in, I'll sign it. So here we are. Howard Hodgkin, 2003, crumbs, 19 years ago. Wow. Well, I bought this book at the National Tate Modern, but he reckons he was never a abstract painter, but of course he was really. But I've seen many of his paintings in Tate Britain and in British Masterpiece. I just love some of what he does. He used to take years doing them. He didn't do them all. Sort of work on one painting for 9 years, but he did some, put it back, and went on to the next one, and so on. But there's a wonderful documentary on BBC iPlayer on the Imagine series. He's quite old then, but he's dead now. And coincidentally, my late neighbour across the road from me was at art school in the 50s with Howard Hodgkin, Sir Howard Hodgkin. But I just love them. You can't copy them because it's so obvious that you've copied, that they're so distinct, his paintings. And he spent a lot of time in India and then being influenced by Indian art, he would paint some pictures. But they are absolutely wonderful. I don't like them all, but you know, you think where can I fit in as an artist? Well, you just have to do your own thing, don't you? And there's the book, Andrew Graham Dixon. I've got another smaller book that he signed as well at a later date when he was in I think Sheiky's, all in the West End in Soho or Charing Cross Road. A sad loss, but a great legacy to artists and those who were lucky enough to own one. He painted mostly on boards, thick wooden boards of various sizes. He didn't, well, as far as I know, he didn't paint on canvas. Oil painting. He gave quite a lovely tribute to David Hockney as well. They're both totally original artists. But anyway, back to what I'm going to have a go at today. The paintings that I've done recently on the cartridge, the thick cartridge paper. I'll show you the. Oh, I haven't got a sheet now. I don't know what's painted on it. But it's quite stiff and it's in a roll, this cartridge paper, and it's very difficult to get flat. So you tend to you have got re-rolling it the other way, and then you've got all these bulges down the page, and the sun shines on them or reflects on the page, and it just goes horrible. Looks horrible. So what I want to do today is another meadow. Or a sort of meadowy, or inspired by a bike ride just on the boardwalk in Malden Hall Park, the Wetlands. But try to capture that mist, that fog. And I've never tried this. You could do it in oil, and you can glaze using retouch varnish. Which will give a good effect I used to use it on when I was glazing Venice paintings, but I just love landscape. I love meadow type landscapes. I love doing them. It's my sort of tribute or a contribution to bad art. So I'm going to use a bit of vet gel when I get round to glazing. Just this it doesn't stay blue. It's very transparent. But might be a good idea to, because the paint dries very quickly. You can go over it with the glaze within minutes. So we'll have a go at that. So first we want to get some paint on. Now the whole painting was a sort of a grey mist. Last week in particular. It was very foggy and very cold. And my fingers. I'm still looking for my fingers. Not really. But we did the bike ride yesterday along the River Wandle and into Morden Hall Park and the wetlands and the boardwalk. And it was very lovely, but very cold again. Oh, I spent £40 on a pair of cycling gloves that are waterproof, but not insulated. So that'll be for another time. I spent enough money on gloves. But it was very lovely yesterday. And it's just a sort of a rising mist. So paint a sky, a sort of a blue sky, but you can have rising mist. So we'll have a go at that. I'm going to use, there's my palette. You see, you can't see all that, can you? Let's just come out a bit. There we are, that's the palette. Cadmium red, ultramarine, burnt sienna, Payne's grey, some sort of yellow, I think it's cadmium yellow pale, and yellow ochre, and a load of white. I will be going back to watercolours and oils in not so distant future, but I'm really stuck on meadows and demonstrating how I try to do them. And the ones I've done the last couple of days have been painting shapes, using shapes for expressing a meadow. Don't paint bits or put detail in. It's all just texture, and just because it's acrylic, it dries quickly. You can go over it. You can get some lovely effects with it, and when it's dry, you can give it a varnish with PVA glue, slightly dilute PVA glue. Right, so here we go. Let's use a bit of. This is on 160 grams per square metre paper. It's the heaviest. It's in between. The paper that I used yesterday that I cut is much heavier. It's quite a bit heavier than this. It's probably about 200 grams per square metre. But anyway, let's get a sort of a pale bluey, bit of Payne's grey, lump of white, plenty of white. Just get the paint on, and don't do too much in one spot. Just work over the whole lot. Otherwise, you'll find that the paper will buckle a bit too much, and you might even lift the surface off the paper. It's just the white has gone a little bit jellified. Should be brighter than that. The white I used was was graduate acrylic, but I bought them. They're quite cheap from Hobbycraft, and but they're on their last legs. When they go jellified, they're on the way out. But let's just get this stuff in. So we can put some plenty of colour in this, but then we can glaze over it and just reduce the colour. Okay, that'll do. And the blue sky did show through. Okay, that's okay. Right, put the brush in the drink, and we then go on to our lovely worn out brushes. These two. Oh, lovely. Right, okay, so I'm going to put in some, let's have some burnt sienna and some Payne's grey. That's gone jellified. But it's a distance. Should be more blue, I think. Doing the distance. You've got some larger trees, all without their leaves on, because it is winter. Bigger one. So just remember it's like you've got all this watery bed of marsh grass, you know, thatching type grass. Don't think they use it for that. It's a park after all. But it's very beautiful. The water table is very high in this area, in the Wandle Valley. Right, okay, so that is our basic colour. Let's get some, plenty of air going through these leaves or these twigs. Right, okay, get a bit there. I tried to stay away from detail and putting the chunks in, but I will put some chunks in if I feel it's necessary. But that's got to be a horizon there. You want that quite dark on the horizon, so that you can counter change with lighter colour. But it's just getting a bit of stuff on there, stuff. Whoops, making a little bit of noise. Right, and onto that we'll superimpose some much lighter colour to show the tops of the grass, and then when we even put a bit of green in there. Even the yellow's gone a bit jellified. Right, okay. Now we'll do. I've got to do a little bit there. Just fill in some of that. That's a bit. Not very good. That bit of cloth that's dried. So we'll got another bit of cloth. We'll go back to that dark. Let's have a touch of red. That's not good. That wasn't dry there. So we'll go back to that later. Clean the brush. Give it a bit of a shaker, and then we'll Now, with all the grasses being cut, so we can have a bit of burnt sienna or a bit of yellow ochre. We can this is all horizontal. It's there's no hills or anything like that in the wetlands. Just a lot of water, and there's this lovely little pool here that the children or with their teachers they use the pond to see the fish, and the fish got in there through a flood, after a flood, and then because the water's disappeared, and the fish are about a foot long now. Oh, there we are. That's that, and now we'll just warm up some areas. You're probably bored with this scene by now, but it never fails. I love it. All right. Now we're standing on the boardwalk on the platform, and they've got some zinc or whatever plates engraved with all the insects and wildlife, pond life that are there. It's really lovely. It's and a gentleman comes along with a bag of mealyworms that he throws onto the surface, and whoosh, it's a feeding frenzy for these fish. It's absolutely beautiful, and and you wouldn't think you were in suburbia, London suburbia. Right, see if we can just get that bit. Okay, that's about it, isn't it? Right, now we want a bit of shadowy colour, so you've got the just right. So we'll have a bit of mauvey colour, so blue and red, and a bit of burnt sienna. So these are the stalks of the grass. Not an accurate colour, I have to say. And in that we can put a bit of grass. Okay, just go back over that now. Oh, I don't like that. Let's just paint that out. Right, okay, get some more light. Let's change the brush to this one. Put that in there, in the water. Yeah, keep your brushes nice and moist, or in a pot of water. Right, okay, we'll do the pond. So this will all be sort of dark, really. Let's try it. get that a bit. I'm not painting the pond accurately. I'm just painting a pond. All this is imagined. Just lighten some of that. And we'll put in some water. Some water, will reflect the sky, but it will be right, it's just to work that going a bit nice. Right, okay, nearly there. Right, we're going to let that go for a minute. Let's just, well, that dries off a little, and then we'll start having a go at the glazing. I think what I'll do, I'll dry it to hasten. I could stop the video, but it means I've got to. It doesn't really matter, does it? I've got to edit it. Right, ready? Take your headphones off. Got to straighten that up. So that's going uphill a bit there. Right. Well, I have to use the hairdryer to take this tape off, otherwise it just tears at the paper underneath. Right, let's take that up a bit here then. Right, okay. That's quite dry now. Right, so now I've not tried this before with acrylic. I'll use that brush. Take that in some of the blue gel. This is a vet's gel. It's what veterinary surgeons use to examine the cows and things. Yeah. So we'll go in with a sort of whitey blue. Now, I just said earlier the blue will disappear, apart from the paint. Right, I'll go right up to the top there. Ooh, oh no. Careless. No, I don't want too much at the bottom. I might have overdone this. Can put some detail or texture in the foreground because that would be where your feet are, and you'll see your feet. Oh gosh, look at that. I could get rid of that red. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, let's get a bit of toilet paper, that'll do it, and scrape that wretched paint off. Right. Right, clean that wretched brush again. It's very strong, that cadmium red. It's only a student quality. I bought several tubes of it over the years from Wilkinson's, but they haven't got a very good range, and they've made them smaller. They're 120mm tubes now instead of 200mm tubes, so I don't bother. Just to see if we can take some of that off. Okay, let's get a little bit of paint in the foreground here, and then right, okay. That will show, so we'll have a bit of a paint spray in there. There we go. Right. Right. That's the base of the pond there. You could just about see the outline of the trees on the horizon, which is only about a quarter of a mile away. Oh, let's glaze a bit of that. Oh, you see the jelly. Now we can just put in a little bit of sun, I suppose. It's coming out. And something quite low in the horizon. There's not a lot of character in that way. Let's see if we can put in some bit of texture. The grass is sticking up. you can hear some drilling. They're having a major refurb on the ground floor of their house next door. Right, okay, I don't think there's too much more to this. Got 8 ladies in for lunch today. Okay, that's all I can do with that. I'll put it. Well, yes, I'll take your headphones off, folks. I'm going to take this paper off. Right, ready? Mute your sound. Go. One. Oh gosh, this Scotch tape is as tacky as you could imagine. Right, let's just get this one done. I will try and find a mount for it. Ready, go. Oh, I've got to wait a moment. Yeah, see, that's sort of pulled off there. The hairdryer is sort of overheated, so while we're just waiting for that, let's get a mount ready. I think that one would be too big, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I have that one. Oh, that's quite a nice one. I'm going to use that one. Right, ready? That should go now. No. Oh. Bit bereft of a bit of surface, but oh, come on. Right, so. No, not ready. I had this hairdryer for years. It was my wife's originally. Okay, so that is as close as I can get to misting out a painting. Misting out. Right, let's just move some of this stuff here. Throw that. I've used this acrylic enough now. Right, let's get to what that's like. Yeah, a bit wider than that, but there you go. What's that one like? Oh, that's quite a nice one, isn't it? Yeah, well, okay, well that'll do. That's do for a photograph, won't it? Right, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. It was an experiment. It's more or less as I hoped it would be, but perhaps more practice needed. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.